Everybody have a good weekend? Good. Good. Real good. Relax. Hang with the crew. Went to some basketball game, couple practices, watched a little football. All good. Back at it this morning.
How needed it was that break for you guys going 13 straight games, training camp, everything kind of in one?
Yeah, we've been at it for a long time. So, I know they had a little pep in their step. They already lifted their meetings right now. We'll get out there today and kind of have a bonus day today. Go good on good, and then we'll normal week as we get going forth. But I know that they needed the break, and it was obviously later than normal, but pros and cons of having your break where it's at right now. But got some guys healthy, hopefully turning the corner a couple guys and get out there and practice.
You've been kind of going since you've been hired. Does it give you an opportunity to kind of reevaluate things or just evaluate things in general?
No, I kind of do that. That's a good question. I try to do that every day. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you talk to certain people and look at certain things, but I think you constantly want to evaluate what you're doing on a daily basis, truthfully, and then taking some notes, things that you can change, things that you maybe, down the road you want to, change or tweak a little bit. You got that in the back of your mind. You got it written down. I can't remember things, so I got to write things down, but I'm very comfortable with how we've been operating in our process right now, and not to say that we won't change moving forward, but I like where we're at.
Do you watch the Niners game just like we do, like at home on the couch? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. I got to catch a few quarters there. I was cooking Sunday sauce, so that was my attention. But, we watched it a little bit.
As the head coach, is it bi-week different as opposed to being a coordinator or an assistant?
No. I mean, check in with more people than I'm used to being the coordinator, I guess. But it was good.
Any more urgency to get back to the grind?
Yeah, I'm always ready to get back going. So I was hooting and hollering this morning. So we'll have a good week.
What's your hope for Hollywood going forward for the next 4 weeks? And is there concern that this might be lingering with us?
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, we'll see how this week goes, but I know he feels a lot better today than he has in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he's out there practicing and we get him going and he, like he's done all year, make plays for us.
Is that the same? Are you aware? Is that the same foot that he injured last season?
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different injury, honestly.
Going off of that a little bit, just the offense as a whole, what do you kind of hope to see in terms of them coming back and hopefully taking a step?
Yeah, I think continue to always is protect the football and generate explosives. You know what I mean? And then play the game that we need to play on a week-to-week basis that gives us a chance to win.
I know that you always say that every opponent, the next game is the most important game at that, but knowing that you do have 2 divisional opponents coming up, does it feel like the team has something to prove in a sense?
No, I think that it's something to prove. I wouldn't say that. I mean, we're going to focus and put all our energy into San Francisco.
Kyler said in Pittsburgh was his 4th preseason game in a way, right, for him getting ramped up again. Where do you think he's improved the most or gotten the most comfortable? Just
tell him the ones that he's been playing in these count. He knows that. Yeah, Paul. I think just if you he'll tell you, operationally, make sure we're doing a good job in and out of the huddle, getting guys, situated, getting us in the right checks and calls, and then playing at a high level, which he's done. So I'm excited for him for this week to go against a really good football team at home. See if we can put our best foot forward.
Did Michael Wilson improve enough?
He did. Yeah, he should be out there this week in some capacity. He's doing good.
The 49ers, the standard that you guys are shooting for in the NFC and, of course, in the division for what they've put together there?
No, I don't. Every team's different. I think, Howard, what you're asking, I think, is they're a consistent winner, and they're always knocking on the door, and they put themselves in position to have a chance to play meaningful football in late January. So by that standard, yeah, that's what you're looking for. You know, you want to be playing meaningful games in January. You want to earn the right to play more games than 17. But obviously, since John and Kyle have been there, they've built it the right way. They had a couple down years to start, but then they got it going, and they're a really good football team. You know, their record shows it. When you watch the tape, you know, all three phases jump out to you. They got good players. They're well coached, and they win games. So that's what everybody in the NFL is trying to do. You know.
When you started watching film when you got here to where you are today, has Trey McBride made the kind of jump that you thought he could, or is it more?
Yeah, and I think there's still a lot left in the tank, truthfully. And you can talk to him about that. You know, I mean, just what he does from the run and pass game, how Drew deploys them. I think that he's taken steps to becoming a more consistent, better playmaker as we've played more games here. As he's only in his second year, you know. And I think sky's the limits for him, but obviously he's a huge piece to our offense, and he's done a really good job.
Can you put a perspective from a defensive perspective, how hard it is, or what kind of mismatch he creates?
Yeah, tight ends are tough, you know what I mean? Because you'd say, oh, well, let's just put a good cover guy on a tight end. Well, structurally, you can't always do that, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's no doubt that if you put a body on a body or play zone, that in between the numbers passing game which is where he plays typically. It's a tough cover, you know what I mean? No matter the coverage structures that you're playing, those tight ends are difficult to defend. And especially if he can be primary in the concept or things like that. But like I say, he gets open and he catches the ball. So that's what you got to be able to do in between the numbers to have production, and that's what he's doing.
The game in Pittsburgh went a certain way that lent itself to having James get a lot of touches. Philosophically, does it matter to you that he had that many? There's not a lot of backs that get that many carries in a game anymore. Is that something you watch for? Because I know on defense, you guys are always talking about rotating guys.
Yeah.
Or as a one-off, is it not that big of a deal?
Yeah,
or?
no, he's definitely a high-volume guy. You know, I think he finished the game, though, that pushed the numbers way up in the kind of the 4-minute there. But, yeah, we're always aware of number of plays, number of touches, how the game's going to go, things like that. And sometimes where the score and the time in the game dictates some of that too. You know what I mean? So, but if you give him 50 touches, he'll say, I'm good to go. So that's cool to have that. But, yeah, we're always aware of, you know, play times and touches and things like that. But understand that he's one of our high producers on offense, and we're going to use him accordingly.
How happy have you been with the way Michael Carter has taken to things?
Yeah, he's done a good job.
Different things he can bring.
Yeah, he's done a good job. That run on third down there in the second quarter was, phenomenal, you know. Broke a tackle and split two. But he's doing a really good job. His character is through the roof, which I love. Loves the practice, prepare. It was a really good addition by Monty, and I'm glad he's here.
Back to Trey for a second. Does he have what it takes to become part of that upper echelon of tight ends that we see?
Yeah, but the upper echelon tight ends, I always say to people, those guys are on good teams with good players around them. You know what I mean? So, and some guys have been really good players on non-good teams, but I think that's what stands out to me. If you kind of rattle off, whoever the quote-unquote top tight ends are, which we're playing one right now, they got good quarterbacks, good O-line, good receivers, good backs, you know what I mean? And they make their plays when they come to them. So we got to all do our job. It's not just Trey. We got to all do our job around Trey. Our guys know, do your job so your buddy can have success doing his. That goes into that, you know what I mean? But he definitely has the skill set that I think that's why I say sky's the limit for him. He has that skill set.
When the receiving part is there for him, do you focus more on the blocking, or do you look more at the other stuff?
All of it. Yeah, all of it. You know what I mean? Because he plays multiple positions for us too, so he handles a lot for us. Sometimes he's a Y, sometimes he's the F, sometimes he's the X, you know what I mean? So he plays different roles in our offense depending on personnel groups, down and distance, situationally, handles all of it. And I know if you talk to him, I think consistency of doing the right thing, playing with the right technique and fundamentals all the time, being detailed out with everything that we're asking him to do, that's something that he'll continue to make a jump in.
How much more do you challenge guys during this final stretch?
We challenge our guys every day, honestly, Tyler. So there will be normal business here, and know that we got to have a really good week of prep and practice, and we got to play really well. It gives ourselves a chance to win.
How pumped were you for Jonathan Ledbetter to get that Walter Payton Man
Yeah,
of
it was
the Year?
awesome. It was awesome. We kind of kept it from you guys for a day. Michael made the presentation, which was really cool in the team meeting, and the video behind it, whoever made that was awesome. You know, I tell all our guys, you have responsibility to impact the community in a positive way, and Jay Led does that for us.